This episode of the Young and Pruitt podcast is brought to you by Carpy's Custom Screen Printing. If you need labels, t-shirts, banners, race car graphics, window stickers, and anything else in between, give our buddies over at Carpy's a call. Or you can email them at sales@carpys.com. You can also find them on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter, hit them up at Carpys_CO. Or Instagram, it's at Carpys. And you can also look them up on their website, www.carpys.com. Give them a holler, tell them what you need, and they'll come up with a perfect product for you.
And once you are done shopping at Carpy's, be sure to head over to youngandpruitt.com, where you can find every single episode of this podcast. Ones like Bobby Allison, Joey Knuckles, Spencer Davis, and all the long line of Timmy Petcheck episodes. You can check out Layla's blog. You can head over to our fan forum, create a membership, join the discussion, and talk about anything you want. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube. Be sure to hit us up a nice review. Go over on Twitter, Instagram, at Young and Pruitt on both. On this episode of the podcast, we have the California kid. Well, a California kid, Zane Smith. He just come off a win at Nashville, the ARCA series with MDM. Cool kid from Huntington Beach. So he tells us a little bit about his background, how he got into racing, and we have a good old time. Here it is. And we are back. The guests actually cross each other. Greg Fernelli and Chase Forbes.
Yes.
They were on the previous episode. They passed our next guest, Zane Smith, who is coming off of it was your first ARCA race, correct?
Yeah, first win for the ARCA deal.
First ARCA win.
Yeah, I'm not sure what race. It's like my second-ish year.
Well, congratulations. You got a guitar.
Yeah, I know. I wanted that damn trophy so bad, and I finally get to hang it up on Friday. I waited for the little hang-up piece. It's coming on Friday from Amazon Prime.
Can you play the guitar?
No, absolutely not. It's not tuned at all. It sounds awful, to be honest.
So, well, I mean, it's going to be playable, right? You could.
Oh yeah, you could play it. I was messing around. My dog is actually terrified of a guitar. I found out right once I got back. But no, I'm definitely not playing that one. But I kind of want to do the Smash guitar and just get a replica, but people won't be too happy about it.
I remember when Kyle Busch did that.
Kyle Busch did that.
Yeah.
It didn't go over too well.
Yeah.
Was it a Sam Bass
Sam
guitar?
Bass, but Sam Bass checked off on it. So,
yeah.
Yeah, Sam was like, hey, rock and
Then
roll.
he cut it up and gave it to all his crew
Yeah,
members. That wasn't so
that's
bad.
What it was. Yeah,
That's what I think's kind of cool about it.
Yeah.
You get to give a little piece to everyone. You could always get replicas, I guess.
Yeah. So you're originally from out west.
Yeah, Huntington Beach, California.
Huntington Beach, bad boy. How about that? So, what'd you start out with racing out there?
I actually started in BMX bikes when I was 3 years old. My dad got me. I never even started with training wheels, just got straight into it. My mom actually taught me. And then I moved into trophy carts on dirt. And then that's when I started to become friends with my now teammate Sheldon. And I still race with actually another one, Riley Herps. And that's who my dad's in business with. He runs the team over there. But anyways, back to how I got started. I went over to go-karts when I was about 6-ish. And then legend cars, late models. I kind of just followed the ladder that everyone really takes, I guess.
When did you switch from dirt to asphalt?
So I guess, 6-ish. Because it was trophy carts and go-karts kind of at the same time. And I'm I kind of like the go-karts more. So, and I didn't really see much of a future, I guess you can say, with the trophy cart stuff. Because usually the kids that start with that go into the trophy trucks, and you can't make a living out of that.
Yeah. Did you have emulations of being a cup driver even back then?
I don't know, actually. I was a really big fan of like road course racing, since that's like the karting I did. I didn't do like I didn't even really know about the dirt go-karts that people do out here. I only thought it was really road course ones, and I raced those everywhere, all in like super nats and all the big stuff. And yeah, I just kind of kept at it. And then when I got into legend cars, then I started really watching the NASCAR stuff and kind of followed the NASCAR kid ladder.
But you knew you wanted to be a professional race car driver. Like
Yes,
that was the only option.
I've never played any other sport or really done anything else, just racing.
So were you like homeschooled during all this, or did you have to kind of fit this all in between like school or?
So I actually went to like regular school all the way until 8th grade. I was going to do my freshman year, but I would miss so many days of school to where we're just like, screw it, we'll be homeschooled. I would do it on a laptop when I was out here traveling back and forth.
Wow. So not only you were all in, but the parents were all in. Like,
Yeah,
everybody was fully invested and said, we're doing this.
Yeah, my dad was like, I'm not sure if you can do the homeschool, if I'd be like dedicated enough, which I kind of not. But
Is he saying that about him or you?
no, me.
Oh, okay.
About me, yeah. Yeah, no, I had to teach myself. It was kind of a weird homeschool deal. Like, I guess my friends, like their like parents are like in on it, or they get like a tutor. But
There's a lot of that goes on out here
yeah,
too.
I just read like the lessons and then you figure it out yourself, I guess.
Yeah, it's still like a school, but it's not. It's like
exactly. Like,
it's like a schoolhouse that everyone's
yeah,
kind of pooling together
Yeah.
and have one teacher that teaches you everything.
exactly. It's like I guess he's like the principal. Like I thought I was gonna have my own teacher and everything, but whenever you have a question, you just email him. So I can imagine how many emails this dude gets.
Oh damn! So you're not even in the room with him.
Yeah, no, I never met him in my life. And I guess I graduated. So
I wonder if that guy's bankrolling, if he just has like a lot of kids like emailing him.
I could only imagine.
It's like almost like a YouTube teacher.
Yeah, I mean,
I had to wear him out on the emails. So, and that was just one kid. Like it's called like Sunland Christian. It's a big little program he's got. So,
Wow.
like I said, I can only imagine.
it's just like those online fitness trainers.
Yeah.
They'll have like 100, 200 people that they train, and they just email them workouts.
I don't care. You keep track of them.
Here,
Like,
do that. Thank you for the $1,000 a month. Like,
Here's your meal plan.
yeah,
Here's
yeah.
your thing.
Here,
No,
eat
you're
that.
not squatting right.
Yeah, here, eat that, do this. And that's literally all it is, because some people need to be told exactly what to do. They either don't have time or they can't put the knowledge together themselves. So you worked your way up and then you ran K&N cars for a little bit, right?
Yeah, I did. I think it was 3 K&N races. And the one was like, it was a really cool deal. Now that I look back at it, it was kind of crazy, but I did New Smyrna with Calabrese Motorsports with Bruce Cook as my crew chief. And I figured out about the blend line really quickly. And we had a good shot at the pole, and I kind of screwed over on everyone else on my team for that. But I guess we proved ourselves that night. We had to start last, and I ended up second. I don't know if I had anything for the leader. I think it was one of the Bassett kids. Mm-hmm. But because I pretty much burnt the thing up trying to get to the front, and I kind of just held off third. But it was like a new team. It was pretty fun. And then with that, we went to Bristol. And
Baptism by fire.
yeah, and
Here we go.
and that the rain deal kind of pissed me off a little bit. How we didn't get to finish the whole thing.
Was that last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want to be running it this year bad, but that's probably one of the coolest trophies to me. I want that thing so bad. And especially last year's like that cool like zombie dude in the sword. It was just awesome.
Was it like Zombiato or something like that? I was with
I was just looking at pictures actually today, and I don't even want to think about it.
I was with Hattori last year and Ryan Truex, and everybody was so pumped about, and then they had just like some freak shit happen in practice,
Yeah,
and
I
then
know.
some freak shit happen in the race, and he knocked the wall down pretty early on.
He was like the first one to put his number on the quarter panel that race, wasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he did it before.
Yeah, it was Audix USA. They're a Toyota supplier.
Mm-hmm.
So him and Harrison Burton both last year.
Yeah, because I remember Harrison Burton did it with the 12 car.
Yeah, I worked on that design.
Had on the back. I love I love that.
I do too. It wasn't very popular like with the fans and stuff, but I think it works great.
Yeah.
I mean, the sponsor is like freaking
Pops,
huge.
for sure. But and then this one's crazy. So I was at the mall getting a new pair of Vans, and I get a phone call, and I guess the Sunrise Ford team, the driver failed his drug test, and they asked me if they'd fly me out to Tucson, I think it was. Yeah, Tucson, for me to drive it. And I'm like, of course. So they flew me out that morning, like at 4 a.m. to go make first practice. And I didn't like fit in the seat at all. We had to like close it up and everything. And did one round of practice, qualified and race, and I ended up fourth.
Wow.
Wow.
But
Red-eyed and everything.
Exactly. Like it was a crazy day for sure, and flew back home. So I guess that was pretty sweet about it also. I got to go back home for like 2 days, since we're like, 4 hours from Tucson to Huntington. So it's pretty sweet. Everything out here is like 8 hours away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would sometimes take that over like the hurry up and wait, where you're sitting around, and then you finally go. But when you're like up against a deadline like that and everyone's thrashing, you don't really have time to really think about the race or worry about the race.
Yeah, that's so true.
You just get out there and you're just focused in on getting it done because you have no time to think about anything else.
Yeah, that is so true, for sure.
You can just jump in.
Like when you like practice for like 2 days, qualify, like the Derby pretty much.
Yeah,
like
all week.
They stretch that thing out, and then you finally get to Sunday, and then you're like, damn, better nail everything, or this is all a waste of time.
How many times have you run the Derby?
2 years. Yeah. My first year, it was with when Chase Elliott beat me, and last year
The time that he got busted for the tungsten?
No. So Christopher Bell, I guess, actually won it, but he got thrown out of tag. I'm not sure for what, actually. But 2 laps, we were coming to the white, and John Hunter blew up, I'm pretty sure, and like ran into his pit box.
Yes.
And like people don't understand how much smoke was actually on the track. Like you couldn't see it at all. And my spotter really didn't say anything, and we hadn't had like a big one yet, so I like kind of checked up a little bit, just like drug the brake to make sure I wasn't gonna like hit anything. And I was setting second at the time, which would have then been the win. And Chase got to my outside and then got by me, and that was the winning pass at the end of the day.
Oh
Yeah, I know. I was just talking to you about that. I don't want to be reminded of that, especially literally sitting directly across from me is the trophy.
Yeah, the 2012 Snowball Derby is what we're talking about.
Yeah, and then a good buddy of mine, Christian X, he won it the following year, and I hate going to his house because he's got that damn trophy.
It is a pretty trophy. The snowball.
That's so
yeah, I got a picture of my hand holding it, and that's the
rubbing it in.
So, yeah, sorry to rub it in, but I do say that race is broken up into thirds. You have a third of the field is going to break, a third of the field is going to crash, and then the final third is going to be the ones that are going to fight it out.
Yeah, that's like that race is like the definition of just be there around then, because you never know what's going to happen.
Survive.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
It's like a short track Daytona. Pretty much.
And you get to compete against Cup guys, Kyle Busch.
Yeah,
that
was pretty sweet, because I was like pretty new into like the super stuff then, and I'm trying to think of who was in it. Damn. Oh, I guess it was like Christopher and stuff. He was running trucks, but I swore someone else was in it. I don't know. Maybe that was the next year. It was like Kyle or something, or John Hunter. But anyway, or it was Chase Elliott. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the one who beat me. So then last year...
We can see you've worked very hard on forgetting that.
Yeah. And for real, trust me. You have no idea how bad that one race bugs me. Like, you think over all the years you get over it, but you can't forget about that one.
Yeah. It's the big fish that got away. No matter how many more big fish you catch,
that's
there might be
one
bigger.
More you could have had.
It's still the one more that you could have had. Yeah, that race is notorious. That that tech shop out back is that.
Oh yeah, what do they call it? The Room of Doom?
Yeah, the Room of Doom. That place. He is the original Hawkeye. He finds everything that's wrong with those cars, and it's always like, yeah, you won, but let's wait. And that's usually 3-4 hours later. Okay, everyone's through tech. We're good. It's official.
Yeah, like you haven't won the race until you go through that. That's like a whole other race right there.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I personally like him though. I like Ricky Brooks, like, because you don't got to worry about anyone that's cheating. He really doesn't care who you are.
Yeah, there's no favorite. Yeah, exactly. There's no favorites. He's thrown out the biggest of the big.
Oh yeah.
So, and the cool thing about it is, like when Eric won that deal, like that was his car, so he can go down there and we race side by side to Kyle Busch, and he was side by side on the outside of Kyle Busch for 10 laps, and then finally got around him. So the smaller teams can still go down there and be competitive, but it's just like we said, it's being there at the end and surviving. And you're nowhere is safe. It's not get up front and be safe. It's not. Anything can happen, and there's so much lap traffic. It's
Yeah, it's like an ARCA race.
yeah. But I mean, dude, the closing rate that you have to deal with in those ARCA.
Oh, that is nothing. Go to like Kentucky or something. That's a whole other deal. Like, I swear they're probably going about like 80 miles an hour slower. Like
Wow.
And they'll like kind of come up on you. Like, they ain't staying on the bottom. Like, that thing must be so tight or something. But I don't know. But they got into Sheldon when he was leading at, I don't know if it was Kentucky or Kansas, but yeah, he got into one pretty big, and I don't really know how much damage it did, but I don't know, it did something.
Yeah, when I was at Venturini's, Justin Boston got caught into one, and leading the race at ORP is what it was called now at the time. Leading the race was going away, and destroyed the car coming off a 2 into a lap car. And you know, we're like, we got it, we got this race, and we're tearing down the box. I mean, there wasn't that many laps left. We're tearing down the box. We're like, yeah, we got this. And all of a sudden, like, silence. And then he's like, will it start? And then he comes across the radio. He goes, I thought he was going low. He came up high on me. And then, of course, Billy let him have it for...
Oh, yeah. I had Billy last year as a crew chief. I was on the 55 team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so you know.
Yeah.
Did you ever... Okay, well, I was going to say, since you never won with them, you never got to kiss Big Bill on the lips.
No, I'm kind of happy about that. Yeah. Yeah.
They,
That's a one positive, I guess, about winning.
But they're very, very family oriented, and they're very proud.
Did you get kissed on the lips, or is it just driver only?
It's just driver only.
Oh,
It's just,
do you feel like you missed out on something?
no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a rain check on that one.
He's a big man.
Billy, I've had a cold. You don't want to kiss me,
with
man.
those big hands, and he does. I mean, he grabs hold of you, and like he knows that it's coming, and he tells him, he's like, you know, it's coming. And he just looks at him, just grabs hold of him, gives him a big kiss on the mouth.
If I did win, dude, I'd be gone. Like, can't find.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Kyle Benjamin's is the worst though. There's a picture of it.
Oh,
too.
no.
I'm pretty sure Billy showed me. It's like Kyle was like talking to somebody. So his mouth was like open, and Big Bill like grabbed his face. So they like half made out. It was so bad. So bad. I can only imagine. Even though I don't want to.
Oh man. So how do you? Well, I mean, obviously, the car you're in is really good. How do you see the rest of the year going?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a big help is with the team that I'm with. Marty Lindley is obviously very known on like the short track scene, and I mean all the guys I got are super well known. So I mean all this equipment that we have over there is ridiculously nice.
Yeah,
it's
we've. I think that we're almost to the point of favoritism when it comes to talking about MDM.
Yeah.
And their success that they have had.
Yeah. Right. It's just going to be this year about putting the races together and I mean, just doing what we did at Nashville.
How many more are you projected to run?
I'm supposed to do the full year.
Oh.
Yeah. We just need 2 more races secure for the year, and that's the 2 dirt tracks. But those are within the year, so hopefully we'll find funding by then.
I know a guy.
I mean, do you do things with oil?
Actually, I mean, we always can. We always can.
So I work with Shell Pennzoil.
Okay.
So all of like the Team Penske stuff, the IndyCar stuff, drag racing, it's all built off business to business relationships.
Right,
so,
B2B.
So yeah, so Shell loves B2B and they play in that realm pretty heavily. So if there's B2B opportunities, they like to listen to it pretty openly.
For sure.
See, and that was our
There
own.
you go.
That was our own little
There you go.
B2B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you still do like the whole BMX stuff? Do you still got a bike?
No, I see. I pass like one skate park there, and you can't really take like a bike there.
The one that's next to the police station?
Yeah. So
I mean,
Kind of a random spot for it.
yeah,
Very
I know.
interesting.
but I
For
mean,
real.
I think the parents kind of like it. I mean, I know that the kids.
Yeah.
I've never really been
Because
in a
I guess skate parks can be like kind of ghetto sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's right next to a
That's where
police
the
station, so
riffraff
they
hangs
can't-
out.
But, I mean, sometimes hiding in the plain sight is also possible. But
Yeah.
Like we're like a couple years away from like Mooresville being like a Hollywood suburbia.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
It's definitely like family friendly.
weren't we in like the final bid to get the X Games over at Concord? Wasn't Charlotte Motor Speedway going to hold?
Yeah,
one of
it
these?
was really
yeah,
close.
they
They
were.
gave it to Detroit because Detroit had tourism dollars to spend because they were doing that whole rebuild Detroit movement, and it looked better on paper. Charlotte Motor Speedway was able to do way more. Like
Yeah.
they were going to build over ZMAX because you had both bleachers on both sides,
Yeah.
and you had like VIP hospitality stuff already built in. They already had all the camera hookups, all the local media was already tied in with the racetrack, so it was huge. But it was literally just it looked better on a broad national appeal to rebuild Detroit than give it to Charlotte.
But we went up to that skate park right up there. It was me, Noah, Gregson, Riley, Herps, and damn, who else was with us? But anyways, Noah was like dropping in on the kids. We were just messing around there, and Riley tried like jumping over a rail, like we're just messing around, and we like clipped this kid's rail, and it like knocked it out of place. And this kid was like a diehard like skater boy.
Uh-oh.
And he was like,
Get off my turf, bro.
yeah, pretty much, exactly. And Riley was like, whoa, and he like moved his rail back, and it turned out this dude legit brought his own rail to a skate park.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's the real deal. I didn't know you could do
even
that.
Exactly.
I'll take my ball and I'll go home.
Yeah.
To take and stand to the beach. Basically, that's like the whole reason why the deal's there. I've never been in a skate park. My roads were barely paved back home, so
Yeah.
So as far as
it's
like
way
skate park-
different back in Huntington. Like,
but I do know like surfing, like
Okay.
super territorial. There's even like a pecking order where you can't even be out there. They'll fight you over it. It's our waves.
Well, my surfing skills are about as good as my skateboarding skills, which is like they're so terrible that I actually like owe the world to like probably try a little bit harder.
yeah,
I'm, like,
it's
the
definitely
worst.
way different out here. Like, I would ride like a skateboard to like 95% of my friends' houses back home, and now when I'm back here, like, dude, it's like a 30-minute drive everywhere. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, because hell, Huntington Beach. Yeah, you could just hop on your skateboard and just
Yeah.
go.
Exactly. Like, I could ride to the beach, I could ride everywhere, but now out here it's forever. That's one of the main reasons why I'm not like the hugest fan of North Carolina yet.
How much hassle did you used to get from like security and
For what?
for skateboarding and
BMXing and stuff.
Oh, out back home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
None.
they're all cool with it.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. I would. I guess like one time I like rode it like in a mall, and I had to like run away from like the little like security guard and go like hide in like a bush. type
Probably wasn't
deal.
too hard.
Yeah.
Get away from me.
Most of
real
those mall
quick.
cops are,
Yeah.
are not exactly known for their
Yeah.
physical fitness
Yeah,
abilities.
and you're on a skateboard.
Yeah.
Push, gone. See ya.
Hanging out at Wetzel's Pretzels all day. I was gone.
That's awesome. So you're with MDM. We've actually had let's see, I think Marlon's on your team, right?
Yeah, Yoder.
Marlon Yoder.
Yeah,
yeah.
Marlon Yoder.
Yeah.
He's got a hell of a story.
Oh my god, isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
He just bought a house.
He was my neighbor before.
Wow.
So the apartment complex that I'm living in, he is legit two doors down, and dude, he's got like a Dodge truck.
Oh yeah.
And dude, he'll fire that thing up at like 6 a.m. and I ain't a morning person just to let it warm up.
If you hear his story, you'll be like, good for you, man. Good for you. Just
Yeah, I know that is very cool.
yeah. Sure. And for those who haven't listened to that episode, Marlon Yoder moved down here from Wisconsin. He was actually Amish until he was 16, 15, 16.
Yeah,
was when he left the Amish. And he talked about seeing all the big diesel trucks and wanting one.
And that's what turned him. He drove his Dodge.
I didn't know that.
He drove a Dodge diesel, and he was like, "Okay, this is my life now. This is what I'm chasing after."
That's
yeah. So now that's the first.
It's funny you said that.
What he had like a little red S10 or something like that. That he
like. I think it was like a Pontiac Grand Prix or something. They rode down here.
Yeah, something like that. And he ended up just buying that big Dodge truck.
He loves that thing.
Yeah. Sure. So yeah. As soon as you heard that, he's like, "Brrr," like he probably just wants to hear it idle as he's sitting there eating his breakfast.
That's how we know he made it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, he's not too many skate parks up in Amish country for sure.
No,
but
I know. I always mess with one of the guys on my team. My like window net is the hardest damn thing to get up.
I'm gonna go off on the record and say fuck window nets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But but so Beavis can never get it up, and Yoder, I'm like, let the old Amish strength in right here. And he always gets it up.
If you can build barns, you can put a window net up.
Yeah. Let the man that had a lifetime of using his hands be able to do it. I mean, bro, and I was the guy. Over Venturini's, I was always the guy that had to pry those things up there, and I would go get a 2-inch wrench, and I'd put that thing on there, and I'd get underneath it and just lift up on it as hard as I could while someone else is ready to clip it.
Exactly. I always help Beavis out. I got the little latch right there ready to click it in.
And usually it was Brendan Poole or Justin Boston, or like they're in the car, so they get on the radio. Like I'm already freaked out because we're getting ready to go out for qualifying. Right. So I'm trying to get it up there, and they're like in my ear, like, dude, come on, man. Like I gotta go. You see the official? He's right there. Come on, man, we gotta go. And I'm
trying to get that damn thing.
Throw the damn wrench. I'm like, there's no reason that it's got to be that tight, guys. Like, it's not. There's a point to where it's going to be tight enough. It doesn't have to be that tight. Like, we're not gaining that much. We're gonna lose our qualifying spot just trying to get the damn thing up.
Yeah.
So how much did we save there?
The car I just ran at Nashville, which is my short track car all year, it's that one. That's a toughie right there.
Have you ever had one fall down on you yet?
No, knock on wood.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to jinx you. A lot of these questions are.
I would be pissed off.
He's gonna be out like leading at fucking Kansas or something.
Yeah, because you got to hold that thing up, bro. You got to make it look like it didn't fall down. You got to hide that thing.
Dude, that'd be so hard, like a mile and a half. Or something.
We've did it before. If
it falls all the way down, there's no way, because dude, that thing is flopping. I have gotten slapped so hard by one of them things before. I let it down, not realizing how fast I'm going. Came down, wing caught it, just whacked me right in the face. Oh, it didn't hurt because I got a helmet on,
but shit, you weren't expecting
it. What was that?
So what's your favorite place you've been at so far?
That I've raced at?
Yeah.
Damn, Bristol's pretty sweet for sure. Short track wise,
anything?
Yeah. Damn, that's so hard to answer.
Okay, what one fits your driving style the best?
Bristol's pretty sweet. I like how you just drive the hell out of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know you look like the bank can catch you. Kansas is a pretty fun race. Like how you kind of move up to the top. But yeah, something like that. I can't stand where it's like slower is faster, like a Berlin or something. Mm-hmm. Like I like where you have to. Yeah, I like where you got to drive the damn thing.
Yeah, because the tires at Berlin will drop off like 10 seconds.
That's the dude who designed that track must have been drunk or something.
The track isn't done being built.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a back wall. There's no wall in the backstretch. Yeah. Or did they put one there yet?
No, there's nothing. I know.
That's
dude, I can't
finish building the track.
It's like the weirdest shape too.
Yeah, it's there's no straightaways. Really? I mean,
yeah, exactly. Like
there might be a backstretch.
Like when you come off of turn 4, like if you're going a certain speed, you're gonna knock like the front stretch wall down. Like it comes up so quick, and then like 1 and 2 is like it's like a kink, and that turns into like a full on turn. It's a weird track. That's the one place I'm not looking forward to going this year.
And then the wall, the wall comes in, and then going into 1, the wall kind of goes away.
Yeah.
The wall goes its own way. The banking comes up, and then it flattens out, and then there's the wall. And then there's no wall until entering 3.
Yeah.
There's no wall.
Like how does that work? Like, you just
That's
ready?
exactly how Cordell is.
You disappear.
Wow.
You disappear. It's not completely flat. It goes down a hill. So if cars
better.
wreck, you're like, oh, 2 or 3 cars are in it, and all of a sudden, brr, 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 here they come over and back down in.
Yeah. Cordell has actually saved me a front clip before, because we went there when it was so cold, and we mocked up, and the left front locked up, and I went up and right over the corner. It's gone.
Where was that? Mobile?
Oh, when the ARCA car launched that thing?
The ARCA car launched and
That was
ended up in
gnarly.
the parking lot. The throttle stuck.
Fuck.
Yeah. Crashed into cars. Cars in the parking lot stopped it.
Yeah, no. He launched that damn thing.
'Cause that-
I remember
that-
that video like came out. That
Because
was like the thing to watch.
There's not much wall there. And the wall that he did hit, he just blew through it. And ended up in the parking lot.
It like ripped like the right side off the thing, like full right side.
Wow.
rows deep into the parking lot.
Standard day at the racetrack.
Yeah.
Some dude like tailgating. Like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, the dude's like sleeping one off in his truck. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell happened?
Oh man. You seem to like, I mean, as you kind of go along, you seem to like the more challenging tracks that you go to.
Yeah, I mean, like Toledo it's a tricky track, but it is so much fun. Like, I love that track, especially an ARCA car. Like, I probably like that car or that track in an ARCA car than like a super late model or something. Just how they drive it's so much fun. I'm super pumped for Toledo this year.
What's the short track out west that you like?
The Bull Ring. I grew up at the Bull Ring a lot, racing there every weekend, and that place is so much fun. I wish ARCA did like a little West Coast swing and went to like Irwindale and like Phoenix or something, or like Auto Club, but I don't know. That'd be pretty sweet, I think.
Yeah, they could. Obviously, they would have to do it with the NASCAR series, so then there's more support out there
Yeah.
for them. They can tag along. And
I want to go to Auto Club so bad. The place looks so sweet.
That could easily be like a Thursday night show at Vegas.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, exactly.
Like put them at the
Or
bull
Vegas.
ring.
Yeah.
yeah, that would be badass.
Yeah.
Or let's see.
It just costs so much.
Yeah,
to go
that's
out there. That's the
Transportation,
thing.
flights,
That's the
hotels. So what do you miss most about the West Coast? I know we were talking a little bit, you like the ability to hop around. We talked a little bit about the food. What's your go-to food?
Mexican for sure, and the Mexican out here is not sporty. The Mexican back home is unreal. I just went back there about like a month ago, and pretty much every single night for lunch, dinner, and like one day breakfast, Mexican.
That's legit.
Yeah, it's the best that you'll ever have for sure.
I went to a taco joint in West Hollywood called Pinch's Tacos.
I think that place is like pretty famous.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was
I've heard of it.
fantastic. There's actually one in Birmingham, Alabama now.
Yeah, I thought there
Very
was like
strange.
Random.
Yeah, I'll be going to that for Talladega for sure.
There's a spot in Huntersville, La Unica.
Oh yeah, I just went there. It's not bad.
That dude's from Baja.
Okay. Yeah, there's the what's the one right up here? Prickly Pear. Mm-hmm. He's from LA. That's like right by my place too.
he
It's
really?
not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that used to be right over here.
Yeah. Oh really?
Mhm. Yeah.
There's like a taco truck. I think it's off 33.
yeah.
Right beside it's like
Oh.
Nationwide Insurance or something.
Yeah, I know exactly what
That
you're talking
place
about. I
is
see them all the
awesome.
time.
Yeah,
It's always
that's-
packed, but I just feel so like those places are usually the best, but I just feel so sketchy. Like
No, man, you would love this. Like nobody there speaks English. There's one lady who understands it, so you can order and she can like tell you how much it is. But I mean, this is like fresh ingredients. Like It's the real deal, and it's cheap. Like you can literally spend like $8 and get like 4 tacos. Like it's fantastic.
Yeah, we have a guest that usually comes on, and that's his example of a great weekend. He'll go over there, get the tacos, and go sit by the lake, and that's like his dream day. And he every time he comes on, he always talks about that taco truck.
Yeah,
Have you been
try it
to
out.
Jimmy Johnson's taco deal down in
I want
South
to
End?
so
I
bad.
forgot about that. Is that still a thing?
So supposedly, like that's like the closest thing to like
Yeah, that's
like
what it seems
SoCal
like.
mix.
Lauren was supposed to take me and Sheldon there, and we were supposed to go or like meet up with Jimmy there, and I was so bummed we didn't end up going.
Yeah,
Because
that'd
he was
be
like out in
sweet.
New York or something.
So when you have like all these West Coast guys that were coming out here, the Jimmy Johnsons, the Jeff Gordons,
Kevin Harvick.
were you aware of those guys and you knew?
Yeah, actually, my dad and Jimmy Johnson's dad are they know each other pretty well, and because Jimmy's dad, I think he worked for BF Goodrich, and my dad would always have to go through him, and they just kind of became buddies and just known each other ever since.
That's good company to keep.
So were you sleeping on couches when you came out here, or like,
No.
what was your story? Because you
got
always
that.
hear.
So I did an interview earlier today, and I got that same exact question. No, I moved out here. It was like part time, and like when we just like visit. It was in a motorhome that we like drove. It was kind of like a vacation deal that we do with my parents, and then we ended up getting a house out here. Like we built like a really small house out in Denver, North Carolina, and then last summer I kind of decided I want to be in Mooresville because I can't stand driving 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing out there. Like people are pumped to go to the food line, and that ain't me. So I moved out to Mooresville and got an apartment, and now I'm living the apartment life.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I
So
kinda
what's your Mooresville hangout spots?
man, what do we do?
Well, I
we
mean, he's still 18, so he's not
Oh, I mean, like
partnering too hard. But
no, that's not. I'm like 18-year-olds in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and Kernersville hang out at the cookout or like the Walmart
Yeah.
parking lot, like with their buddies, like doing like car stuff.
Yeah, I know. I used to have a Camaro, and every time I'd roll through cookout, they'd tell me to burn out. And every time I'd leave the place, I'd end up roasting them. So I kind of stopped going there. Man,
what was all done to it?
What? Oh, it was just a 2016 SS Camaro, and I didn't do anything to it, but I wanted to, but it was already fast enough, I guess, and my dad wouldn't really.
Support
mean-
any modifications.
Yeah, I already got enough trouble in it, so didn't need to get any more, or I guess bigger trouble.
How do you compare the competition to out west? As compared to out here?
Definitely out here is a lot harder. I feel like just way more people are just on it out here, and I feel like they're more up to date than back west. Like I'd say by 2 years or something.
Wow, that's
Like-
a huge gap.
Yeah, like I remember
Even today.
Yeah.
Legend Cars is pretty big. Like the difference between that, like whenever I ran for Chase Pistone out here, and we'd tell like the car I ran out there or the team I ran out there, they'd be like, okay, that's really new to us, and they'd be like, man, we know about that forever. So it's just stuff like that, and like their super late model racing isn't nearly the same as out here, not even close. I'd say the K&N series, I guess, is getting closer. So
But a lot of those East guys go out there and run
yeah,
the West races, so
Right.
it's kind of cross-pollinating a little bit more. A lot of the
Right.
mechanics, a lot of those teams out there will bring mechanics from the East Coast out to the West
yeah,
Coast.
like BMR, they're on it. Obviously, those cars are extremely fast. I feel like that Jefferson Pitts also is pretty good as well. And I ran for the Sunrise Ford, the Brancati deal when they flew me out there, and I feel like those are like the top 3 teams, I'd say. Mm-hmm. Sure.
So you're rocking the Off Axis T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
I met Greg through Ryan last year. He's a super awesome guy. Like, do you do all the design work, or you just drop it off and say
No.
do something badass?
No, I always like give them my ideas, but I don't think he's listening like half the time. He always does a really good job though, coming up with badass designs. My margarita mix one is sweet. He nailed it on that. I said I wanted like a margarita on the side, like falling, and then like margarita little cups everywhere, and I get compliments all the time. Like it's all chrome. He nailed it on that one.
Wow.
For sure. All of his work's so clean.
Is that on your Insta?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check
definitely
that out.
check it out. But yeah, it's like and like the chrome is like kind of, I guess like chrome fades if it sits in the sun too long, and most people's kind of looks iffy when it fades, but mine kind of is pretty sweet because it kind of turned to like a yellowish chrome, and that is like a part of like the color on my helmet.
Yeah.
So it matches pretty good.
Like pipes on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of
Exactly.
colorize.
Yeah, when they get hot.
Blue.
They'll blue and
Yeah.
then yellow and amber.
But I got it on my Instagram, a few pictures. Yeah, people love that thing.
Yeah, they the stuff that they're doing with helmets now, the off-axis stuff, and all those guys that do that stuff. They the way that they can print stuff, and like who was the like Matt Crafton usually has some.
Oh, with
His
his
is
daughter on the
wild.
back.
Yeah, his is wild.
I love those so much.
He had
but
that one. Then he had the Marilyn Monroe one.
Yeah.
It was, and then
John Hunter's got that Hulk Hogan one that's pretty badass.
Yeah, I seen that one. I know.
and then Brendan Poole had the Star Wars helmet.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic one. And it just the stuff that they're able to do now, it's
unreal.
getting pretty cool. Like, and when you see some of the drivers that just have like the old school like 90s, like all the swooshes, you're like, man, come on, man.
Yeah, get up on the level.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. It's like, step it up. It's like, come up.
Blaney does that old school like pinstripe look a lot.
Yeah,
he just
I like that.
Rotates
Like
the sponsors.
Blaney's new helmet is sick.
Yeah.
For sure. I thought you were talking about like the throwback helmet that some people do. I love those too, like the rust and stuff.
Oh yeah, the patina.
That's so badass.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about like more like the open wheel stuff, like F1 and like IndyCar looking helmets.
Yeah,
Where
they just have like
like the 80s style.
Yeah,
I kind of love
the
those.
spikes, and then there's lines
I kinda
going this
love
way.
those.
It looks like like some of the cars in the early 80s and early 90s used to have like those colored stripes down the side of them.
Man, honestly, I think that's like the best era of like paint schemes.
I think it's right now. Like I love where it's just crazy. Like just a bunch of stuff going on. Like Spencer Gallagher's is pretty sweet. Like what is it? It's all Vegas. Like it's all like poker chips and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
badass.
and it shows it's given the drivers some personality. You know,
Well, that's like one of the last pieces of real estate that is theirs.
That's what Greg says from Off Axis. Like some of the cup guys, they just don't really care like what they have on their helmet, and he's like, well, you should. I mean, this is the last thing you can kind of say that what you want on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just parts of it. I mean, sometimes the logo has to be a certain size, and you can't match colors with it. Like Monster is super specific on that. I mean, you can't have anything else but black and green on your helmets, because
Wow.
if you tie in like blue, that's I guess
Could be
Red
Red
Bull.
Bull.
Exactly.
Yeah, they have incredible brand standards. A lot of companies do. Like
Yeah.
even Napa, like if it's a white, it can
Yeah.
only be on like
Yeah.
a black or
Yeah,
a
you've
red.
talked
and
about that.
it's crazy, man. Like you really do have to play like by these corporate rules. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's serious. Or like for instance, Ford makes you run the Ford on the chin.
Okay, right.
As part of if you're a Ford driver, so a factory Ford supported driver, you have to have Ford like front and center on your helmet.
yeah, and
no
he
matter
learned the
what.
hard way too.
Yeah, I was in the middle. So when I worked for Rich Pay Motorsports, we had the Darlington car was STP, and we got a custom STP helmet for Eric Almirola, and STP bought the in-car package. And like in the middle of the race, the guy who's been working, he was like Tim Dorr. He was like the 40-year-old, or no, worked at Ford for 40 years, and he was like the motorsports marketing manager.
Oh.
Mid-race, I get an email, hey, where's the Ford emblem on the chin of the helmet? I'm just like, oh,
No, yeah,
God,
he
I
said,
am
hey,
so sorry.
hey, could you reach in there and put that sticker on it?
I was like, oh man,
helmet
total
for me?
bummer.
Damn.
Total fail.
But yeah, it's that and what shoes? Shoes are really the only thing.
Yeah, shoes, gloves.
Shoes, gloves. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have the bones and stuff. I think the more that it changes, moving the number down on the side, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
like that opens up the side of the car to really have the full logo.
Yeah.
So so you just don't have the one little on the side. That's really going to change it around.
The only thing that kind of sucks on that is like for people like me, to where like I have two primary sponsors. You know what I'm saying? Like, like they both do like the same pretty much. So it's kind of weird to how to lay that out. I mean, there's always a way, but like for me, it's La Paz, Margarita Mix, and Icon Vehicle Dynamics. So I mean, you can't really tie those in together. And I mean, they're different, like totally different shape of logos. Like La Paz fits like perfectly on a hood, and La Paz is like really long and fits really good on like the side. Icon looks sweet. I'm not sure how La Paz would look on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 4 car usually does really good with that, and the Gibbs cars usually do good with that, of having the two main sponsors having the front half, and then it'll blend in the black half. So like, was it Mobile and Bush right now on the 4 car? They where they have them both blended, and then they have a flip scheme.
Yeah.
So one's in the back and one's in the other. And they'll even go one step further, and on the pit crew, the guys that are on the rear of the car will have the fire suit that matches
That's sick,
that,
actually.
that side of the car, and then the front guys will wear the fire suit of the front half of the car. So
That's badass.
So, it works. So they'll, if the Mobile's on the hood, the front tire changer, front tire carrier will have the Mobile fire suit.
Well, I mean, you can't stay stale. I mean, you got to do these changes. You got to try new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it
right.
Red Bull used to have the red wheels on the back?
Yeah. Who was that? That was Brian Vickers or something?
Yeah, it was Vickers,
Almendinger.
Scott Speed,
Yeah.
Casey Kane. But the red circle, and then
Part of the bull.
yeah, and then the bull it was supposed to be the legs of the bull, so it looked like the bull was running. So you'd see the
That was an excellent paint scheme.
Yeah,
That's sick. I think I have the die cast car.
Yeah.
he
It's
actually
like one of the ones I'd like to have.
He actually paid the fines for the contingency stickers.
Wow.
To not run them because he hated them. He did not like so he ran. I mean, if you pull up the pictures of them, there's only like the ones that they have to have, and then there's some that they have to have, but he would pay the fine.
Like Sunoco and Goodyear.
Yeah, he
That's pretty
And
dope.
and
Sprint.
he literally said it makes the cars ugly.
I mean, you saw at Furniture Road did the same thing. I mean, they're pretty.
Dude, that looks so sick to me. Just all black. So clean.
Yeah,
They
plain,
they
simple.
like made the matte scheme like famous. Now everybody does matte.
Yeah, I think.
Some of that might be.
Yeah, I think I might start to be figuring that out. Why they've gone to matte paint schemes, because matte doesn't glare, and we've been finding out that a lot of these race teams have been getting caught with glares of light. The dips.
True. I haven't even thought about that.
dips in the side. I'm sitting there. I'm like, why are matte paint schemes getting so popular? Oh yeah, because I think instead of the Twisted Sister, I think I'm going to start calling it the Dented Dorothy or something. Every week, man, it's something with these.
Something's flexing somewhere.
The aero downforce that these guys have. I mean, we've been talking about it a bunch, but when you're in a box so tight,
Got to play to win.
Yeah, let the air work for you. But hey, man, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
I mean, this is a super quick one. The one that we had on before, that was crazy. So I'm kind of, it's like when you're at like a concert and the big middle band comes on there and just wears you out.
Yeah.
That Greg podcast was that was something
Dude has
else.
a lot of energy.
That was something else. What's your social media stuff?
It's well, I guess that verification deal has helped me out a ton, because now when you just type in Zane Smith, I pop up. That's all thanks to NASCAR. But my Instagram is Zane Smith 77, and that and Twitter I'm pretty much mostly on. But my Twitter is a little bit different. Zane Smith 41. Instagram for some reason won't let me change it to 41 because I forgot my email password. So I'm trying to work on it, but I haven't figured it out quite yet. But then Facebook, I got Zane Smith Racing, but that's pretty much it.
You can't just change it? You can't just change the...
No, it won't let me. It's like, please contact support. And
Because it's a verified account?
Yeah, I guess so. That's probably why. But
First world problems.
Yeah. So I've literally tried everything, like creating a new email. I've contacted support. It's like some like Asian lady that you can't even understand. So I just give up. I'm like 77 is a badass number. I'll leave it at that.
Just take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only Reddit verified. I'm not Twitter or Instagram verified.
I hate Twitter, so I just read, but I never tweet.
Why do you hate Twitter?
It's a pretty toxic environment, man.
It is.
I've grown on it for sure. I wasn't a big fan.
I've lurked, I guess you could say. I've lurked for a solid 8 years.
Like, if I was rich and famous, I would be the worst at it because you get all these people that just hate you and like are just like baiting you, and I don't fall for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have this tendency to keep getting hit by race cars doing my job. So
You trended on Twitter. I mean, you came across
Twice now.
my timeline forever.
yeah, so that's not the way that I would want to be recognized.
Yeah.
But it's the people that have reached out and the ability for them to reach out to me and for me to respond back to everybody, because when stuff like that happens, they can't release any of the information.
Yeah.
They say, okay,
HIPAA laws.
okay, he went to the infield care center.
That's pretty much all it was.
Yeah, he got transferred by ambulance to the hospital. No further information. So for whatever reason, and it's this.
Okay, Twitter is good for live updates.
Yeah,
I will give it that much.
It's the freak out time, So you hear that news and you automatically, it's the worst.
Yeah.
Like his leg is sticking out of his head.
Exactly. They always make it sound like the
Yeah.
worst also.
Yeah.
Well, you were like the most thought about person on NASCAR Nation, like during like twice now, because you got walloped at Texas, then you got walloped again at Martinsville, and then they had to stop the race so they could get you out.
Yeah,
with the ambulance.
Yeah,
So
I haven't really talked about it. I was on MRN earlier today.
hey, it got you your first live interview.
Yeah, it was. Obviously, this isn't recorded live, but I haven't really talked about it too much. But it happened super fast, and there's no video of it. The guy that was supposed to press record forgot, so we don't have video of it.
Oh.
So I've seen some helmet cam footage from other teams, and you kind of see it in the back, but
Yeah.
like as far as like the video goes, like it's only like not even a tenth of a second. It's like I'm on the ground and it's like kind of graining in the back.
Did you get knocked out or anything?
No, I didn't know what was going on because I was in the motion of lifting the car. Like as soon as I landed, as soon as I planted my foot, I got hit. So got hit, boom, and I remember reaching out for my handle and just reaching, and then I fell back into the car, and I felt the side of the car go by, and my radio fell into the rear wheel well, and it scraped it off. So it took it. So that's when I know, oh shit, I just got hit by a car. And as I'm trying to get up, my ear molds was still hooked up, and
You can see it yanking you.
yeah, and that cord got tight, and it yanked my head back down. And I kind of look like a turtle because I'm in the motion of getting up, and then my head goes back, and I'm just kind of flopping there. As I'm getting up, I go, "Oh shit! I just got hit by a car," and I don't remember putting the right front tire on.
Like the changer stops and like looks at you and then goes right back to change.
Yeah, his helmet
it was
cam,
wild.
It's like he looks, I'm not there. He looks to the right, I'm not there. And then he looks back, and then I'm getting up, and he's like, oh, okay. And I put the tire on. I get back to the jack.
Did the pain hit you then?
Well, I took a big, deep breath because I knew something was going on, but something wasn't really right. Gritted my teeth, dropped the jack, and I took a first step. Pain kicked in, and I'm like, yeah, I'm messed up. So I got over to the left side the best that I could, finished the stop, and just kind of fell back against the wall. My front tire changer is the only one that knows what happened. It happened so fast, we still beat the 32 off pit road. So
Was that Colin? Or Colin's on the rear?
yeah, David. He's up front. And he was the only one that knew. So as soon as he got done with the left side, he's like dropping his stuff, and he's coming over. He's like, you all right? You all right? And then everyone's like, what the hell's wrong with him? Like, no one really knew what had happened. And
That's so gnarly.
That's wild.
our trainer, our physical trainer, she comes running up, and she's like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, it hurts. And tore my adductor, which is in your leg, tore my groin, and then I tore an ab, that ab that goes down right there. So they all connect
I
right.
can only imagine like the breath knocked out of
Yeah.
you feeling.
Dude, I was dry heaving as I got out of the pit stall, and I walked back to the back, and leaning on the engine tuner's toolbox. I'm leaning on that, and I got everybody in my face. You okay? You okay? Like, give me some space,
Yeah.
And I'm waiting, and they're like, can you keep going? I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm hurting. And they kept asking me questions. I just put my hand in their face and I walked back at Martinsville. All the haulers are jam packed in there. So I walked over to, I think it was a Double Zeros hauler, and I'm leaning on that. I hobbled back over there and I'm dry heaving and throwing up, and I'm looking back over, and my trainer's looking at me like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, but something's wrong. Something's really wrong.
Did you walk to the infield, or they make you take?
They got the ambulance cart to the tunnel. I was in pit stall 38, which is right at turn 3. The walk-in tunnel is right there. So behind pit road gets really narrow because everyone's got their shit all packed in there. Yeah. So they couldn't get the cart by. Remember how they always say, leave the fire lane open? That's why. Because
terrifying.
When assholes like me get run over, they got to get the ambulance cart through.
Ran over twice.
Yeah. So they get it over there. So it's like, I don't know, 50 feet away, which I'm not walking. Guys come over, throw me underneath the shoulder. I'm not a light guy, so these guys are struggling to keep me up and get me in over there, sit me in the back seat, and then we back up. There's nowhere for them to turn around. So now we're in reverse. The driver's turned back, looking at me, making sure I'm all right, and he's backing up, and we're going like maybe 2 miles an hour. Like enough to where everyone's like has a full look and can like stick their head in and like, is he okay? So I'm kind of, I'm embarrassed,
Yeah.
I'm holding my eyes and my shit's all tore up. So I'm hurting. Let me get back and, got to the care center and there's more shit in the way. So they put me underneath their shoulders and they took me in there. And I get in there, and it's just like what happened last time. All the doctors and nurses are in a half circle around the door, and you walk in, and they take you right to the bed, and they say, "What happened?" And I say, "I was got hit by a fucking car." They're like, "What hurts?" And I'm like, "Right here." And they're like, well, they said, "Where did it hit you?" And I said, "I don't know," because I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I basically stepped back onto him. I never really felt that part happen. I felt him hit my back, and I have a big black mark on the back of my fire suit from the left rear tire.
That's so sketchy.
So I got that, and I'm saying right here, and they're pushing around. I'm like, and they said, okay, well, we need to take you to the hospital to get X-rays. We think your hips are broken. They thought the front of my hips were broke. So they're like, so we're gonna have to get you out of here, and we're gonna have to stop the race. And I go, no, let's not do that. They said, oh, well, it's gonna be in the stage break. And I said, okay. I'm like, that we can do. I'm like, but we're not stopping. I'll lay here and writhe in pain before you throw the caution to roll my ass out of this place.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not being that guy. Like, just shoot me up with something and we'll just hang out. Like, I was not going to stop the race. But they ended up getting me out in the stage break. Went into another ambulance, because that ambulance has to stay there at the racetrack. So as soon as they let me out, that's why it took some more, because they had to shuffle me out.
I got you.
Put that bed back into that ambulance and get that ambulance back in, then shut the door. So then they send me on my way, and all my X-rays came back. The doctor actually said that it's a miracle that my ankle or my hip didn't break, because usually that all ties right there.
They got yanked. I can only imagine so hard.
Yeah. So your hips come together. I forget what it's called. There's some Latin name for it. But usually when that pulls, that cartilage separates. And then that's a whole other deal. And then they thought that I might have had, the other thing that goes along with this is a sports hernia. So all those muscles cram in right there on top of each other. If one of them gets a tear in it, the one underneath it will push through. So it's a sports hernia. So you get muscles. That didn't happen. I'm still not out of the water of that happening. So I can't be.
Yeah. So who was it that hit you again?
The 32, Matt DiBenedetto. So super cool guy. Didn't say anything to me the day that happened. I woke up to a pretty long text message. He apologized, said that he never seen me because of the A post.
Yeah.
And, you're coming through the corner.
You're digging too.
Yeah, you've been at way worse.
Yeah.
Pit roads, you've been to Toledo.
Pensacola.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can't see. And I know that he's not going to intentionally hit me. I mean, Jesus.
Right.
I mean, he's not going to try to hit me, So obviously, 100%, it was an accident. But he reached out to me. The last guy who was involved with the first time that I got hit, he still hasn't said anything to me. I haven't even really bumped into him since then.
Who was it?
Eric.
Oh.
Yeah. Eric turned. It was at Texas. The Monday was marked a year. It was the same spot in the schedule. The only difference was Texas is after Easter this year instead of before it. So same thing happened. It was the very first caution, and it was a competition caution. In Texas, it was a competition caution for rain. In Martinsville, it was competition caution for snow.
You stay away.
Yeah, so Easter, the week before Easter, it's going to be Richmond next year. I've already looked. And Richmond is another dangerous ass pit road.
Yes.
So I'm like,
Can we not?
But yeah, Eric turned him as he was pulling into the pit stall, and he slid sideways, and I hit the right side. So he came in and turned like this, and he hit me. And doing this job, I try to research stuntmen that take hit by cars, that do stunts getting hit by cars. There's a way to do it, just like there's a way to do everything, and if you're doing BMX, there's a way to fall. If you're falling on a skateboard, there's a way to fall. But I knew that I needed to get up off the ground, and I needed to land on the car. I needed to hit the car. The car didn't need to hit me, because if I was planted on the ground, what happened to me at Martinsville happens.
Yeah.
But I would have been planted, and I would have got hit the full brunt. I mean, I flew 15 feet. I landed almost behind the gas man of the 13 car who was in front of me. Like the guys who were handing that gas man the can, covered up. They thought I was coming over the wall.
Giant man flying at me.
Yeah. They thought
That is so gnarly. Dude.
Yeah, it was like bat. The car was the bat, and I was the ball. So the only thing that happened there was I gripped my jack and had a hold of it, jumped up in the air. I wasn't really. The car didn't really seem, because adrenaline, everything slowed down. The car really didn't look like it was going that fast. So I thought I was just going to kind of get a little bump.
Yeah.
And I was going to land on my feet and be able to finish the stop. So I get smashed by the car. The car rips it out of my hand. So the handle was like this. My thumb opened up that way. So it pried my thumb open, and I tore my UCL ligament right there. Ended up having to have surgery on it. And so now I have a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Just like my pinkies. I broke it at a trampoline park one time, and dude, it busted it so bad, and now it hangs out like that. It's all weird.
So ended up having surgery about that, and I was out until Indianapolis last year, and then hopefully this year I'll be back at Kansas. Kansas, at least Charlotte. I hung out with Dr. Heisel last night. I had to get some stuff from him, but he ran me through some tests last night, and it's just the constant nausea that I have. That's the worst part, because that it's a pretty sensitive area down there. So it's that constant kicked feeling that I have.
That's shitty.
That's been stuck with me for the past 2.5 weeks now.
Well, somebody who was broken a pelvis before. We're very glad that you did not do that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got all kinds of stories. He got hit by a van on a motorcycle.
So if you guys
Back when I was your age, yeah.
He's over here turning green.
Yeah.
We're talking about all this stuff over here, but
I'm just tripping out on what could have happened. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
dude.
fell into that wheel well.
Yeah.
Inches, you could have ripped your fucking foot off your body.
Yeah, or if I would have put my arm back behind me.
Yeah,
Stop.
Yep. Now I'm getting green.
But yeah, I have a black mark on the back of my and I have the video. My radio ended up on the left side of the jack on the left side of their car. So it got whipped all the way up past the rear tire changer of the 32 as he's going out stops because it was a tripwire because it was still stuck to the car.
Yeah, that's not good.
So
not a good sign.
Yeah, so he had the presence of mind to look. They all seen me get hit, and they all freaked out. And so, but they still, you still got to do your job. So he's running out there, and he sees the line, and you see him check up and jump over it, and then it snaps back. I'll show you the ear molds still stayed in my head. The one on the left got ripped real tight, but I still have it, so it's all frayed. It's pretty gnarly looking.
Damn.
But that's all I have left, because as I was standing back there dry heaving, they were asking me for my radio to give it to Evan, who was stepping in for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that, Evan.
Yeah, they were asking for my radio, and I was like, I don't know where the hell it is. I'm like, it's gone. I'm like, the car took it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's at. They ended up getting it a little bit later in the race. It's all tore up. But yeah, I mean, luckily it's not worse. Luckily I can sit here and I can kind of laugh about it and chuckle about it and say, and this is the second time, you know, but it's, you know, that's what I signed up for. I would like to see it be a little bit more of a penalty, I think.
Yeah.
I do think that that needs to be implemented. We get penalized for everything else on pit road. If it doesn't have to, you know, I'm not talking about park you. You know, I'm just talking about, you know, if it's under caution, you know, you go to the end of the longest line. If it's under green,
Do what F1 does.
If it's F1's like a $10,000 fine, and like you're done.
Well, I mean,
That's chump change to them.
yeah,
But still,
that's one plate of breakfast.
Yeah, they for an unsafe release is what
Yeah.
they call it. They don't play when it comes to that stuff. Which, I mean, we don't either. You know, we have some serious penalties, but I mean, if there needs to be just that little bit to be in the back of your guy's head to just watch out. Okay, like I might ruin my day if I hit it, and and the technology's there. If we can zoom in and watch a lug nut fall into the jack of the 4 car,
Yeah.
a lug nut that is an inch wide,
Right.
if we can see that fall into a
You
jack,
can see anything.
we can see someone get hit, and we can also see how it happened, and you can get it fast enough to see, you know. So just so some pit crew member isn't an asshole and takes a wide loop, just you know, you better slow down, you ain't gonna hit me, you know, like you would,
Right.
you know, because obviously just like all the other rules.
Yeah, you got to exploit the hell out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's just me. I've already thought about, okay, well, new rule, how are you going to break it? You know, like,
Well, you heard it here first.
yeah, that's, you know, nothing serious, but it just to put people just in the back of their head to know that, hey, I kind of need to pay attention. And even in Matt's defense, he didn't see me,
Yeah.
you know, and in the first offense, or the first time that it happened to me, I got hit by my own car. So then it would still fall on the 77, and it, you know, it's like, it's weird, just like all the other new rules. There's all what ifs and what ifs and what ifs. But enough about me. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah. Thank you guys for sure.
Yeah, that was. I honestly, I didn't watch the race. I was going to, but I actually watched UFC instead.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I was meaning to go back and watch it. Especially once I seen you, I was like, oh shit, like, you know,
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch that one. But
I heard from other people it was a fun race to watch though, so and it was definitely a fun one to be out there. Like everyone raced really clean and really hard, and that always turns out to be a fun one.
were you able to get like a feel for how the race was going from behind the wheel?
What do you mean by that?
Like have a sense of like what's going on, you know, like almost have a sense of like you are watching the race to like see how it's going to play out.
Oh yeah, like I mean, you can always tell that by half of the race, like how everyone's racing and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Like what are they gonna do, and I mean who's gonna line up behind you. But yeah, I mean, I pretty much tell. I think everyone else could as well.
Yeah, there's some drivers that can pick that up really good. The driver that I have now, he's very good at being able to pick up what's going on and this, that, and the other thing. And like he'll flat call people out. You know, like what are you doing? Like,
Well, you don't win championships by accident.
Yeah, you know, like he is very aware of the big picture as the race is going on and knows the situation. Which, I mean, I'm not a driver, but I could see at 200 miles an hour. And you're racing around other people to still have a feel for the timing of the race and, you know,
Right.
you know, what you should be doing at this time, not doing that.
Exactly.
You know, that's big, and that shows maturity.
Yeah, for
here,
sure.
You know, to be able
Yeah,
to do
there's
that.
no point to be going at it on lap like 20. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like at the point of the race where you just need to click off laps, and same deal, just be there at the end.
Like I said, I'm not a driver, but at some points there is like, hey, I need to get by this guy.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
Yeah, I'm
there's time
saying
to go.
from where I was, we were leading at that point, and you just kind of need to set your pace and not get like anyone get in your head really, to where if they want to go, let them go. You're going to catch them.
Are you amazed at your ability to drive in the mirror?
Well, no, I usually depend on
Eyes out front.
Yeah, the spotter has a job for a reason.
Brandon was.
Yeah, he spotted for me a few times last year. I haven't had him this year yet, but I know his first name is Frank, but I forgot his last name. But he does actually Penske's or IndyCar stuff, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
But and then for my mile and a half, so I got Derek Nealon. So he's really good.
Nealon, yeah, he's Larson's spotter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had him at Daytona, and he's badass to work with.
Yeah,
sure.
so you got a lot of experienced guys. I won the Snowball Derby with Brandon.
Oh yeah,
We
Brandon is one of the best for sure.
He's very
Absolutely.
He's one of those one tone guys.
I love that too. I can't have someone who gets wound up or something like that. There's no point of that to me.
Yeah, he's very he keeps it the same. That's very important to me. Not be like, oh my god.
Yeah, for real.
But you can't have your eyes in the sky, like get emotional about stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you got to stay like low key,
Yeah.
like
Gasping for air. Oh, that was close. Oh.
The funny one was Austin Dillon's coming to the checkered. His tone never changed. He goes, "All right, bud, come to the checkered." I like that though. To be honest, I'd rather have that than like screaming or something.
yeah, because that might drive you to a knee jerk reaction where you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
oh, now I'm not concentrating anymore.
Yeah, and then there gets a point to where they gotta be too much information, not enough information.
Yeah.
You know.
I personally like a ton. Like I like when they're talking a lot.
Also kind of keeps you company in there too. A little bit.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes when you're clicking off laps, you kind of not bored, but
Days off.
yeah, you're like, man, what's
Getting a
going
trance.
on out there?
Long green run. Everyone's all spread out. And,
Yeah.
Put some music on for me.
Yeah. hey, can you hum?
Serenade me.
All right, dude. Definitely thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for sure.
You're more than welcome to come back. We can make this a thing. Every time you win.
Yeah, I hope if that's the case, I hope I'm on here.
Perfect. I like it.
all the time.
I like it. Yeah, just keep coming back. I know you already said it again, or you said it, but if you could say it again, all your social media stuff.
Yeah.
Without all the
Right.
the fluff.
Instagram, ZaneSmith77, Twitter, ZaneSmith41, and Facebook, ZaneSmith Racing. You'll find me on all of it.
Perfect. You can find the podcast at Young and Pruitt on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at JackmanZack on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can find me at Tall Guy Turbo on Twitter and Instagram.
Sweet. Thanks again, dude.
See y'all.
Sweet.